it was the first game on Saturday for Jacob deGrom, as we mentioned, and it was just so precise. What was it? 41 pitches?
31, 21.
21.
Yeah, 31 pitches,
31
21
pitches,
strikes.
21 strikes.
Yeah, and he's never happy with the performance. And so he saw some issues one issue that he wanted to fix with the glove side, how his location on the glove side. No, I guess unarmed side. Glove side is where he lives, and he was fine there. But yeah, I mean, and one thing he had talked about doing this last year. He had said that he wasn't gonna throw as hard. So he's 96, 98, which is really hard. But you expect to see 101 from deGrom. But he said that during his go back and look at the numbers. In his two best seasons, he was at 97, 98, and he said, I have 100 whenever I want it, but if I can throw 97 and spot it exactly where I want it, as opposed to 100 where it might leak back over the plate, well, I'm going to do 97. And he thinks that, there's some health benefits, I would guess. And then another interesting thing he said was, plus if I can reach back and throw 101, it's like a different pitch. It's like an extra pitch that I have. And you've seen it, John, especially in watching the Tigers as a Tigers fan.
Yeah.
And Justin Verlander was a master at that.
Yeah.
He'd be 93, 94 the first couple innings, and first hint of trouble though, it's like whap, 98. You're like, oh, okay, he's ready to go. So it's that kind of stuff that all these great ones have. They just always have it, and they know if they can go get it. And again, he wants to pitch as many innings and as many games as the Rangers are going to let him. He wants to maximize that 100%. And I think that if he's at 97 and getting outs, doesn't have to be at 101, then perfect. Because, again, his ability to spot it, to tunnel the slider off of it, they look exactly the same until about the last 5 or 6 feet. And then the batter's dead. So he's for one start, looked great. And he's just been a joy to deal with this spring. It doesn't mean he talks to us, but on the record. But he also sit and we've talked about razors and his kids and where he grew up and all these things. He's just in a great mood. So it's been good to see. Yeah,
and he did talk, as he does, after the game. So let's hear a little bit of that. We're not going to play the whole thing, but we're gonna listen along with you to what Jacob said after his performance on Saturday.
What are we talking about here?
All right, on that
Jacob.
So 2 perfect innings, 31 pitches, 21 strikes, 3 strikeouts. Like, how do you characterize that as a first spring outing?
Felt good. We took it a little slow this spring, but getting out there obviously is a big plus. But was able to locate pretty well. Biggest thing from that one, like locating arm side, was not great. But everything to my glove side was good, which that's normally where I throw the ball. So, it's just going to be to some of those lefties when I was trying to go away. That's probably I got to be able to stick a fastball there a little bit better. But other than that, slider was good. Threw a couple curveballs. Fastball was good. So everything felt good. The main thing's health, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there.
Did you throw any changeups?
No.
All sliders, all fastballs.
All slider fastballs. It's once you see the
criticizing
approach, I don't know. It's like, okay, well, I think this will work.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but we have been working on the curveball, so I'm glad I mixed those in.
All right.
We mixed 2 of those in and actually landed them both for strikes.
Okay.
How have you felt just in terms of the taking it slow aspect of this spring, really?
Felt good. Once we discussed kind of what the plan was, a little bit slower ramp up, I was fine with that. And like I said, the goal is to go out there as many times as I can and make as many starts to help this team win. So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of discussion at some point about innings, what we're willing to throw. So I think that was part of knowing, like, hey, we're going to move slow just based on that. You don't want to get in a spot where you're at X amount of innings and you still got 2 months to play. And it's like, okay, now we're going to have a big shutdown and then try to build back up. So I think it's the slow ramp looks better than the, stopping and going again. So I think that's why we decided to do that.
Yeah, prolong.
Couple of things are obvious in listening to that, Jeff. One, he clearly likes you. He answers the other questions, fun and animatedly, but gets a big smile when he's talking to you. Two, he's a pitching scientist.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And I know that many of them are. We saw it with Max Scherzer, too. But he is an absolute scientist on sort of the mechanics and the science, the part of this thing that is like you have a natural ability, but then there is a way to maximize it. And I think that's where the science, the biology, all those things come in.
Yeah, he looks at the information, the new stuff, and recognizes. He really feels like hitters have a huge advantage compared to when he got into the game, and he's probably right. But pitchers are pretty advantageous. But he also knows, like Scherzer, like where his mechanics are at. He more so than Scherzer, even I think, is just relies so heavily on the mechanics and believes so deeply in them. And really, when you're out with Tommy John for a while there, all you can do when you're not throwing is work on your mechanics. And so he's in a pretty good spot. Even since his first bullpen, I talked to him after it, and he asked me, "Well, what'd you think?" I said, "It looked pretty good." I said, "What did you think?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, it was really good." I was like, "All right, well, that's pretty high praise." He was happy with his command and his arm stroke and all of that. So he feels like the work that he's done, both getting ready to return last year and then in the off season, he's just in a good spot. And I'm telling you, if this guy is happy with where he's at, then watch out baseball.
No doubt about that. And it's amazing to think that he has such precision, like you were mentioning, that I'll always have 100 or 101 back in there if I need. Like if you or I ever, like if I go to one of those machines where you can pitch and it shows your speed,
Yeah.
like I never know if it's going to be 41 or 42. Yeah,
Like in a 38 there, yeah.
37. I'll be like, I got 41 in me, But it really is amazing. It's just like, that was 98, but I got 3 more miles an hour in there if I need it.
Yeah, and again, he just knows. He just knows, and he's great. And there's nobody like him. So a very good sign for the Rangers.
We all silly like the mayor.